Hey Half Moon Name, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me all right? Do I sound okay? Hello. Shminim. Rolling. I sound okay? Okay, good. I reinstalled Windows. And we're not having the same audio issue that we were having before for some reason. I have no idea why. And here we are. Looks like everything is working. What? Really? Please don't scare me like that. Seriously? Oh, really? Ah, shoot. Wait. Hold on. How about now? Is it still doing that? Are you still hearing the noise? Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Testing. Mic check 1 2, sound check 1 2. Testing for strange unwanted audio noise. Testing audio. It sounds okay now? Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's why. I see. Okay, so how are y'all doing? How are y'all doing tonight? Doing okay? Everybody enjoying their long holiday? Where are you guys? 저 라이브 아카데미 가이드 영상 시작해서 미국을 향한 저의 꿈 도전 시작했습니다. Wow. You have your work cut out for you. For sure. It's going to be a long and difficult road ahead of you. But hey, I'll be here. So welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Too long for me. 엄마에게는 힘들고 긴 휴일이네요. A lot of work to do, right? Sounds like you have a lot of work to do. Busy all day doing the groceries for Chuseok. But you have help, right? You have people helping you? Hello. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to turn off the mic for a second. Why can't I watch my own stream? That's messed up. I'm gonna turn off the mic for a sec. Happy Chuseok, everybody. When is Chuseok exactly? 정크리스님, you had to do the groceries all by yourself? No one helps? Why not? Are you spending Chuseok all by yourself? Did you get all those groceries for yourself? You spent almost 4 hours cleaning. You're so proud. Well, yeah, good for you. You should be proud. Cleaning 4 hours? I mean, cleaning for like just half an hour is hard enough for me. Yeah, I'm feeling a little better every day. I'm still not 100%. I'm still feeling the symptoms a little bit. Now it just kind of feels like a regular cold. Now that I have all the really bad symptoms, I think I'm, all the really, really bad symptoms are gone pretty much. But now it just kind of feels like a regular, just a mild cold. Yeah. Monday? No, this is, it's Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, I do sound much better, don't I? Yeah, I'm feeling a little better every day. The background music reminds me of the movie Tron. I never really watched that movie. There's a new one out, isn't there? October 6th. What's October 6th? You spent 3-4 hours making chun. Julia spent 3-4 hours making chun. I made chun for 3-4 hours. This is not the correct way. Red, where's my red? Not like that, like this, okay? You are the only daughter-in-law in your husband's family. Ugh. So that means you got to do all the work? Just that's it? That's how it is for you? Julia Kimnim, you got to say spent. Spent. You spent 3 or 4 hours, not spend 3 or 4 hours. Spent. Oh, you mean Chuseok. Oh, okay. So Chuseok it's Monday. Oh, shoot. Really? Okay. Yeah, we start at 9. who will eat all that chuns? Just say all that food. My sense of taste, it's actually it's not completely gone. I feel like I feel like it's slowly coming back, like very, very slowly. I can occasionally smell things that are right in front of me. Like for instance, I was cleaning out, I was getting ready to throw out the food trash, and then I actually smelled the food trash. I was able to smell it actually. So that was it was a pleasant surprise. And so occasionally I'm, getting my smell back little by little. So I think it's like maybe 10% back. I thought it would be just completely gone. I thought it would be zero for like a month. But then I realized that probably isn't very natural, right? It's probably going to come back gradually, little by little. So, yeah. Plan to go my parents, no, because my parents don't like me. They don't want me home. And so I haven't spoken or seen my parents in years. My wife's, my wife, she's, we're not very close with them either. Yeah, it's a long story, but, broken families exist. Yep, not even during Chuseok. You have a goal. I'm gonna read your new book 30 times. Wow. You almost read my book first time. You have read until... Okay, I see. So there are 75 units, right? Okay, so you're almost done with the first full read. Wow. 영작 공부가 도움이 될까요? 아니면 영상이랑 영화 보고 그냥 따라해서 외우는 게 도움이 될까요? You should do both. You should do little of everything. That's what I would do. I wouldn't rely on one method. And if you really think about it, like whatever you're trying to learn, you should never really rely on one method. Don't you think? It's always better to mix it up, to do a variety of different things. Mix it up. And just because you found something that seems like it's effective doesn't mean you have to just stick to that forever. If I were you, I would try to mix it up as much as I can and just do whatever I feel like, Don't tell yourself you have to only commit to one method. No, that'll just stress you out. Could you tell me how to improve English speaking? I should just keep saying? Yeah, use it every day. Use it every day. Take notes of the things you want to remember. Take notes of the words and expressions and the sentences that you want to remember. Buy 5 of my books. Watch my videos. Join the stream, join the Discord, and use English every day. Yeah, so those are some of the things that will help you as you navigate your way through this English journey, of your English learning journey. Do Brody and Amber know it's Chuseok? Probably not. Is there any things which you recently take interest in? Nothing really new. My voice is a bit it's doesn't sound very good. I don't know. I thought I sounded pretty normal. This is your first time watching a live stream. Okay. Well, that's great. That's great to hear. I'm glad I can help. Thanks for letting me know. It really helps a lot, really. You're glad to be here. I've waited for a long time. Happy Chuseok to you too, Tadonim. You're in Beijing, China. It's not as easy to keep going to learn. I see. Okay. Do people in China use English? They use English more than we do in Korea, right? 쌤 연휴에 영화 보실 것 같으세요? 쌤이 보시는 영화 다 재밌어요. Oh, really? What did I enjoy any movies recently? I don't think so. Nothing really comes to mind. What about you? What kind of movies have you enjoyed? You spent 2 whole hours detailing your car. Wow. What do you mean detailing your car? You mean like really, really cleaning it? Or what? What? Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, 2 whole hours. Okay. Well, I guess if you were to really commit to cleaning your car, like really cleaning it, I guess 2 hours is not actually a very long time. You could probably spend a lot longer than that. But what do you mean detailing? Oh, that's great. It's good to hear. They don't. Huh. Interesting. Okay. It's hard to find people who can speak English well. Huh. I see. Well, you can always go online, right? That's how I learn English. I go online, I communicate with people, I consume content in English. Yeah, we're doing Reddit today. We're going on Reddit today. We haven't done that in a while, right? I guess it's kind of, a way that I can encourage you guys to, go online and use English. Ooh, all that sweet stuff was at the bottom. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. It's a form of car care maintenance, really. Car care maintenance. Okay, the goal is to get it as clean and shiny as possible without a single scratch. Wow, sounds hard. I don't think I've ever done that before. I have, in my entire life, I've never done anything more than just driving through a car wash. I've never really done anything more than that. Which is probably why my car is a complete shithole. I can't even remember the last time we studied from Reddit. Yeah. Well, we don't really study. We just go on Reddit and, we just use English, right? We should probably make it a regular thing like we did before. We've spent way too much time away from Reddit. Do any of you guys use Reddit regularly? Like, not just in order to learn English, but just to consume content, like see what people are talking about. Do any of you guys actually use Reddit regularly? You do? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, everybody should be doing that. Not only Reddit, but like other social media platforms as well. Reddit is it's very it's community driven, right? It's driven by communities, but I guess it's more or less like a social media platform after all. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I think it's a really good way to just, it's a really good way to just use English from the comfort of your home and from your phone. It's just a very easy and quick way to just use English every day. Hello, Angie. How you doing? A headphone you're wearing now looks new. I think I haven't seen it before. Oh, that's thank you. It's they're actually one of my oldest headphones. They're at least I'd say at least 5 years old. Yeah. And yes, these are they're pretty good quality too. When I want to check out what people think about your favorite shows, okay, all right. English content with beer. You're drinking, Andy? Okay. Oh, you got to give your dog a bath? What kind of dog do you have? What kind? Is it a large breed? Yangnyeom chicken? Oh, sounds so good. Although I probably won't be able to taste it even if I had it right now. I'm going to enlist in the Navy. What? As a deck seaman? And that has the linguist role, and it's going to be a next month. Whoa. So you're going to enlist in the Navy? Okay. So you're leaving next month? Or, like, has it been decided? Hey, Monjunim. Yeah, good evening. Happy Chuseok to you, too. Chicken and 양념. Is that something that you're volunteering for? Like, you're applying for it, right? Maybe not volunteer. It's okay, don't worry. As long as you're using English, and as long as you're consuming content, consuming a lot of content in English, and communicating with foreigners, you have nothing to worry about. Okay? That concern that you have, it's something that your mind made up. Okay? Because think about this. Like, you know, I use this analogy all the time, but people who learn to drive, right? Like, do they always have to have someone sitting next to them correcting their driving? No. They just go out every day and they just keep at it. And it gets better, right? That's how we learn everything. We don't always have to have someone correcting our every move. It's a really strange it's really strange how people only have this concern about English and not other things. You know what I mean? Well, are you not worried about, like, let's say, like, those of you who are parents, are you not worried that you're parenting your child the wrong way? Shouldn't you have someone next to you correcting your parenting? No. You learn as you go. And I also gonna go to America next year and got an Army captain course in Georgia. Okay, you're going to the U.S. next year and you got an Army captain course in Georgia. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Does that mean you're gonna be a captain? How do I know I'm getting better at English unless someone tells me how far I've gone? Well, if you don't know that, that means you're not using English. That means you're only studying English and you're not using English. You have to use English. You have to use it to communicate. Use it to consume content. And yeah. You know, as you're consuming content and as you are using English to communicate, if you're feeling like you can express how you feel better, if you can tell other people what you're thinking and how you're feeling a little better than before, and if you feel like you can understand what others are saying, you can understand what you're watching or what you're reading a little better than before, that means you're improving, right? That's how you know. Right. Sure. It's like in the beginning, right? You don't always need them. You know what I mean? Of course, when we're beginning to learn something, we need some coaching. We need someone to point us in the right direction and give us some advice and stuff, but not all the time. You like fried chicken? Who doesn't, right? Hey YG, what's up? Are you using Reddit too? Can I find you there too? I don't post things regularly on Reddit. I just occasionally go there just to browse. That's about it. And, do some reading. Find information sometimes. I'm kind of afraid of working in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, that, just the thought of that is kind of scary, isn't it? If there was one thing that I wish I could just change in the way how people think about stuff, right? Of course, there's a lot of things that I wish I could change, but if it had to be something related to learning English, it's that a lot of people say, "Oh, 영어는 이렇게 돼," but when you actually think about what it means, it's not just 영어. It's not just English. Name one thing in this world where 틀리면서 배우는 거 doesn't apply. Name one thing that doesn't apply to that principle. There's nothing. Everything that we learn in life, certainly not just English, but everything, anything, you learn by making mistakes. You learn by doing it, and you learn by making mistakes. That principle applies to pretty much anything. Why just English? Come to think of it, I don't really think about my English level these days. And guys, hey everyone, do you know why Sona doesn't really think about it? Because she's using English. She's using English every day. She's using it to communicate with people. She's using it to consume content. And so all of her focus is on communicating. And all of her focus is on consuming content. Okay? And so as she's doing that, she's constantly learning. And it doesn't really matter where her English level is right now, and it doesn't matter whether the content, it fits her level or anything. None of that matters anymore. If you're using English, none of that matters. Hey, 우리 다르님. Yeah, good to see you too. You're right in the corner. I was wondering that you are planning to trip with your family or not. No, no trip, no traveling for us. Nope. Well, maybe. I don't know. We haven't really made up our minds yet, but we currently don't have any plans to. If you're afraid of making mistakes, you can't do anything. Come on, it's not just English. You can't do anything if you're afraid of making mistakes. No, not 100%. Youngchan-nim, no. I feel like, I don't know, maybe 60%, 70%. My wife was asking about how I was feeling earlier, and I told her that now it just feels like I have a regular cold. All of the really bad and nasty symptoms are pretty much gone, but there are still some symptoms lingering, like stuffy nose, lack of energy, and just typical kind of cold symptoms you might have. It's 9 p.m. Yes, you are right. Okay, let's move on to Reddit. Just give me a second here. Okay. First one. Whoops. I will read. Sorry about that. I know that there was some echo earlier, right? The echo is gone, right? Okay. I feel as though, for the most part, everyone has been welcoming and nice. No bad interactions, but I'm just too shy to make friends, stop someone from doing what they're doing in the day. I speak a little Korean, but even that, each interaction, everyone has spoken good English to me. What? Wait, what? I speak a little of Korean, but even that, each interaction, everyone has spoken good English to me, even if they think their English isn't good for some reason. Okay. Okay. So this is, we're just warming up, right? I feel as though, for the most part, everyone has been welcoming and nice. No bad interactions, but I'm just too shy to make friends. Too shy to stop someone from doing what they're doing in the day. And so their question is there hope for this person? So this person is asking, I can't really tell if it's a he or a she. Is it hard to make friends in Korea as a foreigner? She speaks a little Korean? Wish there were a little bit more info about OP, like their student or their age. Yeah, there's none of that. Oh, you want to leave a reply? Okay. It will be in the description section of this video. Okay, check the description in this video. I just copied a link. If you feel like going there right now and adding a comment, go ahead. Yeah, that's it. So again, I feel as though, for the most part, everyone has been welcoming and nice. No bad interactions, but I'm just too shy to make friends. Too shy to stop someone from doing what they're doing in the day. So, what should we say to this person? Get some alcohol, dude. Is that what we're really gonna say? Hey, JC, your comment didn't show up. You mean here? Just right now, you mean? On YouTube? Or on Reddit? Oh, sorry, I have no idea. Did you by any chance copy and paste it? I feel like that happens especially when you're copy and pasting. Maybe try like sentence by sentence. Maybe it was really long. I don't know. This just popped out of my head. Okay, so JC wanted to say it wouldn't be hard to make friends if you join some groups like language exchange. Okay, so is that the route we're going to go? I see people looking for foreigners to meet up with. Can you add an ly adverb here? Can you add an ly adverb? Do you know what I want to say here? Okay, frequently is I think it's a good option. I want to say, yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I constantly see people looking for foreigners to meet up with, whether it's for language exchange or just to make friends. So look for Facebook groups or community websites. I constantly see people looking for foreigners to meet up with, whether it's for language exchange or just to make friends. So look for Facebook groups or community websites. Tadonim says, maybe you can try learning something first, like yoga, cooking, etc. Anything that you have interest in, you can definitely can find a friend there. Yeah. Normally, I would suggest finding groups with people who share same interest, but seeing as how you to approach others first. Might want to are specifically interested in meeting foreigners. How do you spell foreigners? Normally, I would suggest finding groups with people who share the same interest, but seeing as how you find it hard to approach others first, you might want to hook up with people who are specifically interested in meeting foreigners. I constantly see people looking for foreigners to meet up with, whether it's for language exchange or just to make friends. So look for Facebook groups or community websites. It is important to get in the environment where people want to learn English because they are willing to approach. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say here. Yeah, find like-minded people. Okay. Comment. Let's see what others have commented. Okay, so this person says, just give me 1 second. This is really different per person. In real life, I think it's pretty easy to make contact. They will not quickly call you a real friend, and that's perfectly fine, as some people call each other friends pretty much after 5 minutes already. Okay, so not really a solution. Speaking as someone who doesn't consider themselves as particularly sociable or charismatic, I've had no problem meeting people to hang out with in Korea, both other foreigners and Koreans. How long have you been there? Okay, so not much of a solution. Just this person is saying that this person has, is not particularly sociable or charismatic, but they've had no problem meeting people to hang out with. Okay. Maybe they got lucky. Not at all. I have a huge circle of Korean friends, some whom I'm very close with. Huh? Oh, okay. So this person is saying it's the OP's fault. They've had no problems. It varies by person. It really is just down to the person and how sociable they are. In university, I went out of my way to invite people out after class or just message them randomly if they want to hang. I was always the one to initiate it and never said no to anything. Never said no to anything. Wow, so you really have to be, you really have to put yourself out there, huh? I faced lots of rejection and ghosting, but it never bothered me too much. Okay. Eventually, people started messaging me back, inviting me to things, and introduced me to their other friends. My friend group grew, and now I think I have a healthy, close friend circle. I do think Koreans just stay with their old friend groups, and it's hard to get in. Some friends they have known from middle or high school, and it's just easier for them to stick with them and not add anyone new. All right. Okay. It depends on how you define friendship and what you understand as true friendship for yourself. Ooh, no. I think this person is getting too deep. Acquaintances are easy to make in South Korea, especially in larger cities. Even for introverts, it's quite manageable. Whether this develops into true friendships is very individual. I don't think the OP is looking for true friendship. I think the OP is just asking, how to make friends. It's not impossible, but it's not easy either due to cultural differences. In general, the older you are, the greater age difference, the more difficult it is. Well, that's pretty true generally, right? Regardless of your nationality and where you are. First time I went to a concert in Hongdae, I was welcomed with open arms by many of the Koreans there. That was over 20 years ago, and I'm still good friends with a lot of them, as well as others I've met since. Okay, so they're just sharing their experience, right? Sharing their experience. First of all, it's hard to make friends in South Korea as a Korean. This was one of the things I wanted to say. There are various reasons for this, but you didn't ask. Okay. Second of all, you have to face this same challenge plus the unique challenge of being considered outside standard social boundaries. This can be challenging because it means people will judge you based on an imaginary and fit you into that role rather than directly assessing your individual traits and deciding the relationship with you based on that. Or in simpler words, people will want to grab you up as a free language teacher or wingman rather than an actual friend. Of course, there are non-Koreans, but less of them, and you may not necessarily be in a position to meet them and could still be in cultural clash with them. So the pickings are slim. Good luck. It's hard. Not easy. Okay. Okay, let's move on, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Again, I've added the link to the description, so if you want to go and add your own comments, feel free to do that. Okay, look at this. Whoops. Is my husband valid in being upset that I still don't know much Korean? Can you understand what this means? Is my husband valid in being upset that I still don't know much Korean? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Hi, I'm not sure if this is the right community to share this with, but is my husband valid in being upset with me that I don't speak or understand much Korean still after 2 years of being together? Some context. We met in December 2022, lived in Korea together until October 2023, when we moved to India for his work and finally came back to Korea in May 2024. My husband speaks almost fluent English. I didn't learn much Korean when first coming to Korea, as I only planned to stay here 1 to 2 years only and then move to another country. I only knew super basic conversation and survival Korean then. After a little of meeting my husband, I started studying Korean more seriously, but suddenly we moved to India and the move was really hard for me, so I stopped studying and no longer had those natural interactions in Korean I had in Korea, like ordering food in a restaurant, etc. So I lost a lot of what I had learned. I started studying again once I moved back to Korea in May 2024, but we had a child around that time and finding energy and time to really focus on studying was difficult for me. My husband gets upset with me every once in a while because I still only know super basic Korean conversation. If I ask him too many questions like, oh, what does that sign say? Or can you translate this sentence for me? It doesn't translate well, etc. He gets really irritated with me. So I've stopped asking him for translations if I can help it. Is he valid in being upset with me? Should I stop making excuses and make the time to study harder, or is studying at my own pace reasonable? Any other interracial couples go through this with their partner? Any Koreans want to chime in their opinions of how they would feel if their partner doesn't speak their native language well after some time together? Thank you. Huh. Interesting. So, what do you guys think? I totally get how you feel, of course. Your husband is not valid. Her husband could help her to study. Illegal divorce. So they've been together for 2 years, and within those 2 years, they have moved around, right? They moved to India once and they came back eventually. And they even had a child in the span of 2 years. Right? So they had a child when? In May 2024, right? So you think the love spark is gone? I don't understand exactly, but I think her husband had a really hard time. Let me defense husband. Maybe she doesn't know what she's supposed to know by now, or things that the husband already taught her, and I'm assuming she is in charge of taking care of the child. She doesn't know what she's supposed to know? He's got to understand her situation? So, what should we say? He's supposed to answer when she asks a question. He is? Go talk to your husband. Having a kid kind of fueled the issue. It happens when we live together because we sometimes forget how precious my spouse is. Just tell him how you feel and how busy you are. Learn from another Korean teacher. I think it depends on her attitude. She could try looking up the meaning herself. I couldn't say it's valid, but it's really tough to study constantly and use it actual situation, especially you have baby. I'm curious. If you decide that your husband is not valid for being upset, what will you do? I don't know. This question has been ringing in my mind ever since I read this post. He did a comment. Really? Anyway, I don't think it's fair that your husband feels that way about your Korean, but learning another language isn't easy, and it takes time. even if you were studying for the full 2 years that you've been together, you still wouldn't be fluent. Perhaps your husband is just one of those dudes who don't have the patience to help someone else wait for someone to learn something, let alone help them. Just don't ask him anymore. Ask him things anymore, and learn on your own. ChatGPT is your best friend. Even if you learn Korean, I don't think your husband will say nice things in Korean. What? Really? I'm curious. If you decide that your husband is not valid for being upset at you, what will you do? Anyway, I don't think it's fair that your husband feels that way about your Korean. Let's remove that about your Korean. But learning another language isn't easy and it takes time. Even if you were studying for the full 2 years that you've been together, you still wouldn't be fluent. Perhaps your husband is just one of those dudes who don't have the patience to wait for someone to learn something, let alone help them. Just don't ask him to translate things anymore and learn on your own. ChatGPT is your best friend. So what do you guys think? Is there anything you want to add? No? Comment. Let's see what others have said. Okay, so this person says, one of the problems in this situation is that until you get better in Korean than your husband is in English, English is the most efficient language. Often, friends that I know got good at Korean quickly was because their spouse didn't speak much English. Explaining this to your husband is important so he can understand why you're relying on English. But so is improving Korean. Empathize with how difficult it is for your husband to have to use his second language as you may be doing. I had a friend who lived with his in-laws. They didn't speak English, and he would listen to Korean lessons on the subway, and then when he got bored, he'd practice with people sitting near him. Good luck with your studies. My wife is Korean, and I'm an American. We lived in the States for years, and now we're back in Korea. It's an entire burden on the fluent spouse having to always be the go-between. Be the go-between? I'm not really familiar with this phrase. After working from 8 to 4, coming home to do 4 hours of Korean a night twice a week is not what I want, but I did it for her. The good news is that it's not forever. It's a couple years and you'll benefit too. more of your life becomes independent. I recommend looking into KIIP through the Korean government, which is normally free and online. Or look at YBM for in-person classes. You can meet some interesting people too. But if you are going to be here long term, just imagine 10 years from now, still understanding nothing in a hospital situation. Oh, okay. A year or two of a couple nights of a week of classes is worth it for you and your husband, speaking from experience. So this person is saying, actually get some proper lessons, right? He shouldn't force you, but I do think that if you plan to live in Korea long term, you should study the language hard. It will only get harder and harder to learn. Your child will also appreciate you if you speak good Korean down the road. Korean is not easy to learn, but I think you have valid reasons to learn it. You live in Korea, husband is Korean, and your child is half Korean. Yeah. I made a what? Oh, this is an ad. She doesn't have enough time and energy to learn Korean. Why don't you have some time to talk to your husband and let him understand your situation? Sometimes man doesn't know before you talk to them. Sometimes man doesn't know before you talk to them. I see. Okay. So Tadonim, I want you to compile everything that you wanted to say and actually add a comment to this post, okay? I will also add this link to the description. This is the second one. Second link. Okay. All right, next one. Can we have a quick look at the game ads? Really? Why? Is it really hard to get a job as an immigrant? Hi, I'm an international student. I'm a freshman at Sejong University and my major is business administration. I came to South Korea specifically to Seoul chasing my future goals. When I start talking to other elder international students here, motivation dies. What? Because as they hear what I'm planning and what I want to do after during the university, they start literally telling me that I choose the wrong country. I want to be as competent and active within and outside of the university by keeping my GPA high, joining various clubs, doing internships, even unpaid ones because I care about experience, and everything that is possible to do. But every time they suggest me to transfer to other country, because it is really hard to get internship jobs joining some clubs without being Korean. Besides, my bachelor's degree, I'm studying financial markets, accounting and financial statements online. I'm planning to get an ACCA certificate. I don't know what that is. So I really want to know about it because I'm a freshman now and it is not too late to do something if it is really like this. Please share your opinion. It is really important for me. Thanks. Is there no hope for this person? The person doesn't really spell it out for us. we need to know what this person wants to do for us to give them any practical advice, right? Well, I think even if they told us what the person really wanted to do, I think it wouldn't be easy for us to. Maybe they want. I'm not really sure. Start. No, the person doesn't really tell us exactly. Korea is not really open to having foreign employee unless they are really experienced in at least manager level. Speaking on a very general level, in a very general sense, I'm just gonna use what Monjunum said here. Korea is not really open to having foreign employees unless they are already experienced. At least on a manager level. Just put yourself in the employer's shoes, and it just kind of makes sense. If you still feel like you have to work in Korea, your best bet would be to at least become perfectly fluent in Korean. If there was absolutely no language barrier between the employee and the company, I guess they could consider them, right? If they have the right requirements and the qualifications, right? But then, like, if you put yourself in the employer's shoes, why create a language barrier and just make things more complicated, right? Why do that? It really depends on what it is that you want to do, but without that information, and just speaking in a very general sense, Korea is not really open to having foreign employees unless they are already experienced at least on a manager level. Just put yourself in the employer's shoes and it kind of makes sense. If you still feel like you have to work in Korea, your best bet would be to at least become perfectly fluent in Korean. Or at least semi-fluent in Korean. Comment, and let's see what others have said. Get a TOPIK 6 as soon as possible. The number one reason people can't get jobs in Korea is because they can't speak Korean well enough to join the workforce. Seriously, this is the most important credential to getting a job in Korea as a foreigner after graduation? Yeah, it seems like the language thing, right? You left out the most important thing from your post. Do you speak Korean at topic 5+? So this topic thing must be a really a good determiner for people's Korean level, right? In the past, would say topic 4 was enough, but now with everyone applying with topic 6, you really need solid Korean to even land an in-person interview. Job market is tough even for Koreans. There are so many essays, tests, AI interviews, etc. that it can easily kill your confidence during the job search. For foreigners, on top of all these obstacles, you face the dreaded visa sponsorship. Going from D10 visa to a sponsored visa takes the right company. Sometimes companies just don't want to hire you because of the trouble, and a Korean can do what you can do. I know people who got hired, but then the company found out they couldn't start right away due to visa and lose their offer. I wouldn't say it's entirely impossible to find a job after graduation, but for foreigners, it's a real uphill battle. Start studying Korean and networking. Yeah, I guess so. Then being a foreigner might even be an advantage in the job market. Well, if they're like completely bilingual, right? Okay. The major you have chosen is extremely competitive. Even those from top schools struggle to find jobs. Your competition are those from Sky universities and those that went to top business schools abroad. Think UPenn, NYU, Columbia, etc. Where are you from if you don't mind sharing? Visas are a bitch. This is from someone who tries to hire internationals. Ah, okay. So this person is in a position or has been in a position where they had to hire internationals, and visas are a huge pain in the neck. It's a huge headache. Okay. I wasn't even thinking about the visa aspect of it. Okay. Next one. Suspicious people in Hongdae. Is it a cult? So, I've lived in Korea for a good 5 years, and I know to be wary of Koreans who approach me. In Hongdae today, there were 2 such incidents about 2 minutes apart, where I was asked about whether I knew about a performance happening. Both times it was a pair of people, and both times only one of them talked to me. I generally thought it was a cult, but they didn't mention religion or a special cultural experience once. They were just along about information about Hongdae. Was it cult or something different? Pickpockets maybe? I'm just confused because it's kind of bizarre. Yes, it's a cult? Yes, it's a cult. Comment? In Hongdae, there are a bunch of guys advertising their small concert. Maybe one of them. Oh. Comment. Why would Koreans ask a foreigner about Huh? What? Do you think they go up to you and are like, join my cult? They suss you. They suss you out by saying things like, you're so pretty handsome. What's a good cafe? They didn't ask. They came to tell him or her about it. They didn't come to ask. I think this person got the wrong idea. Pretty sure it is 신천지? What's 신천지? Hey, someone mentioned 신천지. 몽주님. That is pretty much exactly how they operate. They make events and then they get people to go to them. Eventually things will get to be about religion one way or another. One way or another. How do you say this in Korean? There's an expression. Another thing is they may need audience members from for some internal propaganda event. It is definitely no coincidence. 제일 큰 사입이 the most favorite. Oh, really? 어떤 식으로든? No. Well, okay, the meaning is correct, but I think the expression that better fits this is 결국은. 결국은. Things will get to be about religion one way or another. 결국은 종교와 관련된 것으로 이어진다. 결국, one way or another. Yes, when you think about the meaning, yes, it is 어떻게든 어떤 식으로든. But yeah. I always say, look, talk to me over one beer about my opinion of God, then I'll do your ritual thing. So far, no takers and no exposure to their weird mythology bullshit. So this person is willing to talk about, is willing to actually go do their ritual thing if the people who approach them is willing to listen to them about their view of God over a beer. He is Brit. So far, no one has taken them up on the offer. Sex cult? 신천지 is a sex cult? Last week a girl approached me asking me to give her advice about what to do in Hongdae. She then tried to recruit me to her cult. Whoa. She said was interested in Korean mindset and psychology. She said she was a religious. She told me she wants to go an event. Okay, so this person, I think English is not their first language, meant to spread Korean culture. I went for the laugh out louds, and it was definitely, what's the lols? Kind of fun and strange thing to do. Okay. 삼소 사주면 들어준대. Okay, next one. I think I'm in a toxic relationship with this country. What's this about? I'll start off by saying I absolutely love it here. I love the language, the food, the city vibes. I love walking around at night and going to the park in my neighborhood. I like how convenient everything is. I can go on and on about everything I love about Korea. But I feel like a part of me is slowly being drained every day I live here. Okay. The rules, the strict social atmosphere. Oh, and I don't know how else to put it. Considerate behavior suffocates me. Even though I try my best to not conform to these social expectations, I feel like I can't laugh the way I want to, can't be as active in class as I want to, can't express myself as openly as I want to in Korean, etc. The worst part is I don't even notice how it's draining me most of the time. Over the summer, I traveled to the States and Europe and couldn't help but wish that Korea could just have the same open atmosphere. Do you guys know what this person is talking about? However, I can't leave behind Korea just yet. Everything I love about it coaxes me back. For now, I keep deluding myself and hoping that I just need to adjust some more. It's been 2 years, or become more active in the community. And I'm happy. It's just I'm not fully me. And I don't know what to do because I don't think I can live like this forever. We feel that too. Off to Thailand or somewhere else and come back, then it would feel good again. $244 upvotes? Do you guys know what this person is talking about? You guys understand? Do you guys feel the same way sometimes? Sorry, that's what you feel about living in Korea, but it is what it is. When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. There's no utopia. Safety, convenience versus open atmosphere. You got to choose. Okay. Too strict compared to Western culture. You're just not familiar with this culture and it's hard. I've been there. I lived in South Asia for almost 5 years and I both loved and hated it. I just kept living until I wanted to live. Think about why you were living in Korea and what brought you here. So what about this? It sounds like you want to have the cake and eat it too. Korea is often praised as a very safe country. Perhaps the considered atmosphere is what is keeping it that way. My advice would be for you to leave the country once in a while whenever you feel like you can't stand it. Sound good? Let's see what others have said. There's actually a comment below using that phrase. I mean, cake phrase, if I remember correctly. Oh, really? Wait, did I just comment? Hey, where did my comment go? Where did it go? Do you have a steady group of friends who you can loosen up as much as you want, say what's on your head, and most importantly, laugh at anything you like? You mentioned laughing. I've wondered about this too, working and living part-time in Korea, but it's the people around me who make my experience 200% better on the good days and survivable on the bad days. But I would also add that my closest friends are great English speakers, and some of them brought up abroad. And I'm Japanese by blood, so I'm familiar with many aspects of Korean culture. Even when I don't agree with some rules and norms, I've been saved many times by their wisdom or consolation when things frustrate me. where did my comment go? I live in Korea too, and I definitely agree with you. There are a lot of unspoken stereotypes that affect people's actions here, and it makes you wish that the society as a whole was a bit more open-minded. I guess that's part of what makes the country pretty safe, though. I think it's a trade-off. Trade-off. Do you drink? I don't drink. I don't think Koreans follow rules when they are drunk. Maybe Koreans drink so much and become themselves because of the same reason. I can understand that feeling. For me, I really love a lot about living here. I feel though like there are two things that have started to drain me here. The first is feeling like no matter what I do, I'm going to be looked at and treated like a dirty foreigner. I think it has gotten worse recently as I've moved to a neighborhood where there are a lot of older people who blame foreigners every time something goes wrong. If they blame foreigners every time something goes wrong. If they see that someone has not disposed of their trash properly, they automatically lecture the handful of foreigners about it. Same with cigarette butts on the ground. I get tired of constantly being lectured about things that I'm not doing and watching Korean people do those same things and nobody bats an eye. The other thing is the work culture. The lack of real time off and the way the work schedules are packed together is wild. Also, the lack of accountability for literally anyone other than teachers and schools absolutely sends me. Parents and students get away with anything. So I can definitely understand feeling like something is eating away. This is kind of a different issue, right? This is more like discrimination against foreigners. It's not really what the OP is talking about, I think. I think you are hanging out with the wrong people, surrounded by people with a very closed mindset. There are plenty other Koreans who are open and outgoing too and not constrained by the social behavior. Well, it's all relative, right? It's all relative. It's not like it's not just this or that. It's all relative. Just some people are just freer than other people, right? What's this? Another game ad. I feel like I'm in a dead-end relationship with Korea. It's fine and comfortable in the moment, and every time I leave for vacation, I'm ready to return. Maybe it's due to habit comfort. However, I've always known it won't be long-term and not something permanent for the future. It's like having a boyfriend, girlfriend that's fun for the time being, but you know you won't end up marrying them or building anything substantial. I literally love Korea for that reason. It has clear societal norms and boundaries, something I miss in Europe for the most part, but I guess the grass is always greener on the other side. So this person is actually saying that he or she loves Korea for that exact reason. That there are boundaries and societal norms. How can you not express yourself how you want? What would you like to do that's not socially allowed? That's a good point. That's a good point. Like what it is exactly. How is it? How do they actually want to express themselves? I'm Korean, but I completely get you. In other countries, I can feel that people don't really judge you all the time, and you don't really have to think too much about how you look and sound. I can feel that people don't really judge you all the time, and you don't really have to think too much about how you look and sound. Okay. In Korea, I somehow be more self-conscious even when I go to a 7-Eleven or a local restaurant. I get more nervous consciously and subconsciously in Korea. But in the meantime, the environment is so comfortable and safe. Other part of me feels rather relaxed, like not worrying about getting robbed. One little trick is learning how to shut off random people's judgment and just be yourself. Another tip is to try to look good when you go out. That's a tip? Dress nicely? Get your hair done if it doesn't take too long. Get some skincare. Skincare. No need to overly do it, just a bit more effort. Koreans tend to be so much nicer when you look neat. And looking clean wouldn't likely harm you anyway. Get your own set of tricks to dodge the K judgments. K judgments. There are definitely some hacks. I feel similar to what you described, but in different aspects for different reasons. I find Korea, Seoul specifically, to be a high contrast place, meaning the good parts are very good and the bad parts can be so bad as to be deal breakers. Or, what does it mean when something is a deal breaker? What does it mean to say that something is a deal breaker? 치명적인 단점? Yeah, I guess that's what you. That's yeah. 쫓아내는 이유? 띠꺼운 점? What? Deal breaker means something that is a reason for you not to choose that product, or in this case, this location. It's a reason, so if something is a deal breaker, right, to be in Seoul, that means it's a reason for you not to be in Seoul. Anyway, or cause you some deep damage if you put up with them for too long. In short, Korea, Seoul is an amazing place to live in, but it's a very high maintenance life, coming at very high costs, not just financially, but also in terms of time, energy, mental health, etc. No, it's not sustainable, not even for Koreans who have been trained, to put it one way, since birth to endure and compete in this environment. Wow, okay. A very high maintenance lifestyle that you're asking for if you choose to live in Seoul. It gets much easier if you ignore what others think. Where did my comment go? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna here. Let's try a different. Let's go with a different vibe. Okay. Just do and say whatever you want. If people don't like it, fuck them. How about that? Sounds good. I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be worried about it, because if this person is so conscious about this inconvenience to actually come and write about it on Reddit, you know this person isn't going to do anything crazy, right? Awful neighbor. For family reasons, I moved to a new place. Although technically this neighborhood is part of Seoul, it is right on the border with Gyeonggi-do. Contrary to 99% of Seoul, the public transportation is awful. Many residents rely on cars. it takes forever to go to school or to go anywhere fun. Okay? So this person is a student. Hongdae, Hapjeong, Itaewon, Seongsu, Korea University, etc. are all over an hour away and require multiple transfers. I guess Gangnam is not too far, but I don't have any friends there, and Gangnam is not really my scene anyway. My scene. All my friends live on the opposite side of the city. There aren't any bars or coffee shops or clubs here. It's all very family-oriented, which is good for some people, but for college students, it's less than ideal. Less than ideal. It's very frustrating because 99% of Seoul is great, but my Korean area feels very isolating and antisocial. It reminds me of the same Midwestern suburbia that I desperately wanted to escape when I came to Korea. What? So what? What do you want? So then move. I suggest you move. I mean, what else can we say? What else can we say? Sorry to hear that. Referring to my neighborhood. How dare you say that about my neighborhood? Comment. 이거요? 이거 어플이 아니라 Reddit라는 플랫폼이에요. Community platform called Reddit. Reddit.com. Sir, this is Wendy's. What? Why did you move there then? Don't you check out transport links and general neighborhood vibe first? Yeah, exactly. Why did you move there then? Well, actually, the person did mention something very briefly for family reasons. So I guess this person had no choice but to move to this area. Right? Realistically, I'll either have to adjust to things as they are or move somewhere near a college area on my own. Is this the OP? Slay the Oh, this is a game. What? What is this? Cool story, bro. 구로? 위래. 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 r/rant is a great place for this. Right. It wasn't even, it wasn't even a question. My neighbor has been extremely loud and no one is doing anything to help. I've been living in the same apartment since 2024, and not once from my past neighbors did I hear a single peep of noise. But my neighbor recently moved in this year around April. Ever since he has moved in, he has been nothing but an absolute shitty neighbor that screams every time he works out. The person screams every time he works out? Why do you scream when you're working out? Invites friends over until 3 a.m. to drink, play games and party, yells every time he is on call with his friends, and plays the TV at full blast as if the apartment is fully soundproof. I have contacted management in my building about this matter over 3 times. I have sent emails with videos and evidence of him constantly screaming at random times. I even have the phone number of a security guard that works in my building because he personally told me to contact his number if my neighbor is screaming again. There was a situation during a red holiday, where someone was moving, but he had a party the night before, screaming late into the night, and lost his shit at the neighbor who was moving out of her apartment. He screamed in her face and kept swearing at her. What? At this point, I've been gathering evidence on him for months, and the security knew about the guy, but it was their first time dealing with him in person, and since then the security guard realized how serious it was. But all this to say, everyone said to call the cops. And so I did today, and they sent out people on dispatch. But the moment they came, they knocked on his door, talked about him being loud, and he said he is only playing video games, and they left it at that. Came at my door and proceeded to say he is simply making normal noise that he can hear me sometimes too. They then proceeded to lecture me about how I should not call the police about this, when literally everyone told me to. So Reddit, what should I do? Because I'm literally at the end of my wits. Update. So last night, the man has decided he will choose to actively harass me all night by slamming our shared wall as hard as he can from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Because of this, I'm very clearly in a dangerous situation and was in distress to the point where I had a full-blown panic attack, unable to breathe or make a sound for a full hour. What? After the wall slamming, he decided to scream all night on call his friends and just overall decided to be an absolute nightmare to live next to. This went on until around 2 a.m. I have written an email once again detailing what has occurred after calling the police to my building's maintenance team, and have sent messages to my manager about the escalation of harassment. My manager's boss and work colleagues already know about the situation, as I have briefed them on what has been occurring for a while, but obviously as it is the holidays now, I can't really do much about my housing situation because the company I work for provides the housing for me. Whew, wow. Just as soon as you can. I've been there. I feel your pain. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do but to move as soon as you can. Comment. There is a government website to submit a noise complaint. My wife did this regarding our upstairs neighbor. There's a certain dB level of acceptable noise during the night. It was a long time ago, but I think they first send a letter. If the noise continues, they come out with sound equipment to determine if it's above the dB level. Then they will fine him and continue to do so until the noise stops. Really? There's a fining system for being noisy? I had no idea. You can also contact your landlord about the situation. But no, of course the person has already contacted the landlord. Realtor might be able to... What? Noise complaints can go over for years. Unless you directly confront him and try to negotiate, I don't see you winning this war. Do you really like this apartment? Is it worth the trouble? Trying to legally resolve will probably lead you nowhere and will be a waste of time. Move. That's your only option. You cannot confront, even if you were a buff guy. It's the law in Korea. You definitely can call the police, though. Just don't confront them yourself. Whether or not the police do anything, probably not. Just stick it out for a year and move. I've been in the same situation before. It sucks. Or find someone to take over your contract. That's what I did before. Pay the $330K one for the broker fee to manage the contract takeover, but you find someone yourself. It's worth it. Wow. Welcome to Korea. Most of us have noisy neighbors because the walls are paper thin. Keep reporting it or move. Nothing else you can do. Yep, that's right. Sounds about right. It's time to call Queen Latifah? What? Who's Queen Latifah? You make your own special noises and see who breaks first. In Korea, crazies like that, crazies like the one living near you are relatively rare, and the police have had their fill of neighbor noise-related complaints. Extremely common in Korea. They basically do nothing because if the policy was to do something, that would be all they would deal with all the time. That kind of makes sense because there are so many, right? Yeah, I have no idea. Who is Queen Latifah? Queen Latifah? What? Huh? I don't get it. I don't know. She's 55 years old. She's an American rapper and singer. All right. What's this? Hi, I'm a Korean American male in my late 30s that wants to move back to South Korea. I was born in South Korea in 1986, but migrated to Oahu, Hawaii in 1995, and I've been living here for the next 30 years. I want to start a new life in South Korea, but I don't know how to start. The issue is, I heard the work culture is very strict in South Korea, and someone like me might not find a decent job because I have no degree or any skills. What? How do you expect to come here and get a job? I did go to college in my 20s, but never graduated and quit college because school wasn't my thing. Okay. And I don't have any kind of technical skills like trades or fixing a car, etc. I've been pretty much working in retail stores my whole life. Okay. It sounds like you've answered your own question here. What kind of jobs can someone like me find in Korea? Well, pretty much the same, right? I'm really worried about my future. I heard they have lots of factory jobs because the population is shrinking, so they need workers there. The work culture might be a problem for me because I have never worked in Korea and I'm not really the type that likes to make friends with my bosses or drink with them. Oh my God. So this person pretty much... I'm not a people person either. The work culture is obviously better in the US, but I'm so tired of living the island life. What? Tired of living the island life? You don't know how good you have it right now. I would love to live the island life. I developed island fever like 25 years ago, but was forced to live here because my parents just wouldn't allow me to go back to Korea or live anywhere else. Any advice? Thanks. He has all of the requirements to not be able to fit to Korean life, right? You've just listed a whole bunch of reasons you won't be a good fit in Korea. How about going somewhere else? Cheers. Curious. How about this? It seems like you know what it takes to adjust to Korean life, and that you don't have any of it. So then why Korea? Comment. For what it's worth. Do you guys know what that means? For what it's worth? I know someone who recently moved to Korea due issues with his family. Okay, granted, he is a bit older than you. At 42, he used to run a decently successful small business in the U.S. Now in Korea, he alternates between unemployed and working part-time jobs, 알바 at convenience stores, etc., or physical labor. No one is willing to hire him because he doesn't have any skills other than those related to the business he ran, or he is considered too old. He can't reestablish the same business in Korea due to financial reasons. No one there in Korea in the same business is willing to hire him because he's too old. Okay. 도움이 될진 모르겠지만. Yeah. Sounds about right. Good. Very good. Can you speak Korean? Considering you don't have a degree and you are looking for a factory job, honestly, I wouldn't recommend Korea for you. They pull from other foreign countries, China, Vietnam, Philippines, to exploit these types of jobs just like the US does for certain job markets. Only at a smaller factory will you have a decent chance of having a decent time. I would suggest just moving inland. You can pull up the list of most populated Korean cities in the US and go down the list. They have a lot of factory type of jobs, usually in those foreigner concentrated areas, since they do import-export and you won't be exploited. Bonus points if you match those locations up with that offer, discounted or free tuition. Keep in mind one other disadvantage of the Korean side is Korea has the highest college graduation rate in the world, over 70%. Lastly, you said you are male. born in Korea. How is that going to work with military service? I'm assuming you became a U.S. citizen at some point and have renounced your Korean citizenship. Even if that is true, you may have difficulty until you are much older. Well, okay. Honestly, this doesn't sound like a good idea. Think from their perspective. Why would they hire you? You may be better off moving from Hawaii to another part of the U.S. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, everyone's saying the same thing. Okay, all right. I think that's enough for tonight. That was it. That's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you got something out of it. Remember, there's always so much that you can learn from just simple Reddit posts. And if I'm being completely honest, you can probably learn so much more from Reddit posts than from like any online English lecture video. There's so much you can learn. And you can actually interact with foreigners, right? And see how they react as well. So, okay. Again, thanks for tuning in tonight. Have a great rest of your night. And if I don't see you for the rest of the holiday, which is very unlikely, I will hopefully see you guys in a few days.